All right, today we are diving into one of the biggest topics out there, confidence. But we're going to come at it from an angle that might just completely change the way you think about it. So let's just start with a big question. What if that whole idea that some people are just, born confident, what if that's completely wrong? Because here's the truth of it. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a skill. And like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can master it. The only thing standing in the way is your mindset. To really understand how to build it, we first have to break down the myths that are holding us back. And honestly, this is where most of us get tripped up. We've all seen this, right? We've been sold this idea that confidence means being flawless, looking perfect, never feeling nervous, always having some witty comeback. But come on, that's not a real person. That's a character in a movie. Real confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about acting in spite of the fear. So, if all that stuff is just a myth, what's the reality? Let's get to the heart of it. The single most powerful mindset shift you can make to build genuine, lasting confidence. Where does that quiet, solid, unshakable self-assurance really come from? I'll tell you what it's not from. It's not from likes on social media or a perfect track record of success. No, it's something much, much deeper. And here it is. This is the whole thing right here. Let that sink in for a minute. It's not about being certain you'll win. It's about trusting that you have what it takes to get back up if you get knocked down. It is a belief in your own resilience. And this is just the perfect way to think about it. A toddler doesn't fall down and think, well, that's it. I guess walking isn't for me. Of course not. They just get up and try again. They intuitively get that falling is just part of the process. As adults, we forget this. We see one mistake as a final verdict on our abilities. This shows that internal shift perfectly. Most of us are stuck on the left side, totally paralyzed by that question, what if I fail? But the new mindset, it doesn't ignore that failure is possible. It just reframes it. The question becomes, okay, even if this doesn't work out, what can I learn from it? That simple shift changes literally everything. Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called a growth mindset. It's the core belief that your abilities are not fixed. You can develop your talents, you can develop your smarts, and yes, you can absolutely develop your confidence through hard work and by bouncing back. Your self-worth isn't tied to the outcome. It's tied to your effort. Okay, so that's the what. Now let's talk about the how. How do we actually start building this resilience and putting this growth mindset into practice in our day-to-day lives? It really starts with 3 small, consistent habits. First, take action. Do one small thing every day that pushes you out of your comfort zone. This literally rewires your brain to see fear as a trigger for growth. Second, reflect. When things go wrong, analyze what happened instead of just dwelling on the mistake. And third, celebrate the work. Acknowledge the effort you put in, regardless of the result. Your pride should come from the fact that you tried. And let's just zoom in on that second practice. Instead of letting regret eat you up after a setback, get curious. Ask that simple question, what did this teach me? The moment you find a lesson, you turn a loss into a win. Failure stops being a dead end and starts being, tuition for your own growth. So let's bring this all home. The path to real confidence isn't about waiting for some magical feeling to show up. It's about taking action. So remember this, stop trying to avoid failure, start trusting yourself to handle it. That trust, built over time through tiny acts of courage and reflection, is what real confidence is made of. It is not a gift you're given, it's a strength you build. And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with this final thought. Confidence is built on action. So my question to you is, what is the one small thing you will do today that scares you just a little bit? Because that's where it all begins.